Thank you, Madam Chair, and let me start by thanking the European Court of Auditors, the agencies, my colleagues, shadow rapporteurs and the Secretariat of the Budget Control Committee, including stagiaires that worked very hard on all the reports on agencies and joint undertakings. We all know that this debate is not always attracting the most attention in the House, but we have to be very clear that it is a very important political debate. It's the only time of the year where agencies and joint undertakings are undergoing public scrutiny on their activities. And we should not underestimate the political power that we have as a parliament in this task. And I've noticed the political power that we are exercising when I try to persuade agencies to improve a lot of things that they're working on, their management, their procedures, their internal rules, their personnel policy, etc., etc. The fact that we are able to refuse their discharge is a huge power. When I started with my reports, I decided to focus on three elements in particular. First of all, the effectiveness of agencies. Whether their overhead is not too high, whether the administrative burden they're undergoing is not too high, and whether we don't have too many small agencies that are just not fit for their task just because they are too small. Secondly, I focused on the independence of agencies. There is a reason why we have agencies and are not just letting the European Commission take these tasks. And they have to be independent from the European Commission, from the Member States, but also from industry. And I focused on that as well. And thirdly, conflict of interest. One of the main elements we discussed last year. It will be discussed further in the Ayala Sender report. But let me focus primarily on a few individual agencies, and especially on the Environment Agency. In a few weeks' time, the current executive director will step down after being in office for 10 years, and she has an incredible track record. Her personal authority might even be bigger than that of the agency itself, and she has built the Environment Agency into an example of how to run an agency. Year after year, she collected positive audits and positive reports from this House. But last year we saw a radical change. We saw a very critical change. And in the end we did grant discharge to the agency with a very good reason. But it was a very difficult procedure. And last year's smoke did lead to an OLAF investigation. And now some say, hey, there is an OLAF investigation undergoing, we cannot grant discharge. But isn't that working in circles? First we create smoke, then the smoke leads to an investigation by Olaf, then we discover that there is no fire, but still there is an Olaf investigation, and now to end the circle some of us say that we should not grant discharge. I strongly believe that an Olaf investigation in itself is absolutely no grant for refusing or postponing discharge. It would be absolutely disproportionate if we decide tomorrow during the vote to refuse discharge right now and to postpone it till later on. So I really strongly urge my colleagues to vote in favour of granting discharge of the Environment Agency tomorrow. Thank you.